because I love that kind of ambiguity, that sort of masculine, feminine feeling, that you do that so beautifully. Like, it's one of the many things that you do so well. I'm gonna make out
Thank
soon.
you so much.
So I think we should start with when you first met.
No, because I remember being introduced to you.
Well, it's that
the same
night.
story?
Yeah,
Okay,
it was a Met Ball. Yeah. It was, of course, one of those like big nights where we are invited to show up with like inspiring people and good friends of us.
Yes.
Albert Elbaz was with Emma. And
it was 2012, and Albert said to me, he said, oh, "This is Nicolas. He is a genius." he was like, he's truly amazing, which he didn't say about that many people. And I was like, oh, and you're so sweet and so incredible. And yeah, you weren't at Louis Vuitton yet.
No, I was
right before you came here.
I didn't get the job yet.
You hadn't gotten the job yet.
Yeah, coming from a genius himself, Albert, who is so sweet. I mean, it's just like one of those memories that is already very special. It was already very special. So it was probably the best introduction possible.
Yes, it was amazing.
Yeah, sure.
Do you remember any of the films that you had seen her in? What was your first impression?
Of course, yes. Crazy Stupid Love, like probably like
That one really got you.
That one really got me, of course, And no, but I do remember watching the movie and being like, okay, this is going to be someone that matter. I mean, really, like I was completely.
It was that Dirty Dancing lift that really.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we should talk about Poor Things because that was a movie that you guys deeply bonded over in terms of the look. And why don't you speak a little bit about how you discussed Poor Things with him? And
yeah, so it was before you hadn't seen it yet, and it was many months ago. And Petra Flannery, my stylist, our friend, said we've got to talk to Nicolas before we start doing press for Poor Things, and I think he'll like the images. And so I asked Yorgos, the director, if I could show Nicolas like all of these images. And so we had a meeting that was amazing and looked through all of this, and he sent through these sketches and these ideas that were just so inspired and original. Like they weren't a copy of anything that was actually happening on screen, but they had this inspiration to them that felt so right. And so I just got to find the strike is over. You guys hear about this? It's over. I just got to wear one of these looks that he designed for the first time the other night, and it was incredible. It felt like Bella, but it felt like me, but it felt like him. It's been so special. So I can't wait for more chances to wear these beautiful
it was
things.
Such an inspiring project. It is, because I think when you explain me what was the project and who was the character, who's so unique and so inspiring again. So it's true that watching some pieces of the movie, some pieces of like the fabrics. I remember you show me like zooms of the fabrics.
You knew what everything was going to look like already when you went into it.
I felt things, So of course the idea was not to mimic the costume, and they are extraordinary. But it's also a way to pay homage of the movie itself.
Yeah.
While you are wearing like the dresses on the red carpet or for like the promotion of the movie. So, and I really enjoy that. I love the fact there is a great coherency with the movie and with like representing the values of the movie.
So that's a question I have for you. I feel like I've asked you a million times, but inspiration in general, because you're consistently needing to come up with collections, I know I've asked you this before, but maybe just for the purposes of the series, it would be nice. Like, where do you find it? How does it come to you as you are searching? Like, are you looking for it? It just dawns on you, or it just depends on the circumstance? I mean, from season to season and as things go on?
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's a little bit of everything. It's more than everything. It's a lot of curiosity for people and things and places. And and emotions even.
Yeah.
So exactly when you showed me and explained me your character, I was working on the collection, my cruise collection,
Yes.
that we presented in Italy in Isola Bella. Isola Bella was the name of the location
Isola
by
Bella
chance.
sweatshirt
You were,
now.
Bella Baxter, Isola Bella. I mean, it was a fun coincidence. But besides that, the extraordinary was the story of that collection. The way you described the extraordinary and the scary part of Bella Baxter in the movie, and like how that fits completely what I was working on, even if the subject was very, very different.
Yeah.
The collection was inspired by creature from the lake, because we were showing in the Lac Maggiore in Italy, and so I don't know. There was many things that were very different, and at the same time they were coming from the same surrealistic world somehow.
But that's sort of like in speaking about even the character of Bella, like that was something that I was thinking about a lot, like stripping away and just seeing the world through new eyes all the time. Do you have particular collections that you could... Sorry, Lynn.
No, it's okay. This is great.
I have questions too.
You're killing it.
Sorry. I was just wondering if you
Fine.
if you have particular collections or pieces that really stay with you, where you're like, I don't know how I'm ever gonna do something that's as inspired as that. Like, are there things that stay with you, or is it all kind of just like, I know my relationship to work is like, I'm like, oh, I don't like that, and now I would do it differently, and I would do
Oh
something.
yeah,
you know,
of
I would,
course.
like,
Always want to do it better.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
But is there something that really
perfectionist
sticks
side
with
of me, is like speaking sometimes. It's like, that was not well done. Try again. And actually, some designers, and I admire that, some créateurs or couturiers are working all their life.
Yeah.
Or they did actually on a coat, on like achieving the most wonderful shape and where a coat can fall or a dress can fall. So there is
Just
an
focusing on one
achievement.
thing.
Yeah, there is a big duality between longevity and working for the last, for lasting. When your style can last forever, hopefully, or as long as it's possible to.
Do you know other designers that are really satisfied with everything they do?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Of
What
course,
what makes them keep going?
Oh, I think there's probably like a certain distance with things that can help sometimes also to be more light about things.
Yeah.
So I'm light, but I'm very intense too.
You take. I've been saying this all day. You take the work seriously, but not yourself.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You're
Exactly.
light about it,
Exactly.
but you take it very seriously.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, Lynn. You can ask a question now if you'd like to. Sorry, we're just chatting.
Since this is your 10-year anniversary, do you look back at the 10 years and think, this worked, this didn't work, this worked,
Yes, I
this
do.
didn't?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Yes.
Well, more things worked than,
Obviously, I'm still here.
It's going okay.
Emma, so I think so far. But yes,
But the question is, did you have an idea of what Louis Vuitton would be then that's different from your idea now?
I had the idea that I would be welcome and supported, and that Vuitton was very inspiring for me because the story had to be written.
Yes.
Vuitton has a very short history of ready-to-wear.
Yes.
25 years in totality, 15 years with Marc, and I'm celebrating my 10 years, extending from 5 more now. So I'm writing the story of fashion for women's wear at Louis Vuitton. And there is just almost no one can be in that position today. So I think that was also very attractive for me. When they invited me to join the company, to know I was going to contribute to building the beginning of that story. So it's very special. So I knew that was my mission. I was also asked to renew the classics that they wanted to. And it's really the discussion we have about things you create for the moment and things that will last, It was really that. The direction that was asked, it was create something, but then we would love those things to substitute our classic and create new classics. And so it happened. not for everything, but it did. So
That's a real challenge.
Yeah.
That's really
To invent something that permanent,
Yes.
and when it doesn't exist, when there's really no history, that's a huge challenge.
But a huge heritage of the brand itself. And they
so-
have so many things. I mean, you can find like a trunk from 1900. You
Yeah.
know, they have things that have lasted for
Yeah.
such a long time. They
Yeah.
get passed down through generations.
Yeah.
And you get to do that with clothing.
Yeah, but I have
really
a funny
amazing.
idea in my head. I open the box every season.
The trunk of it.
Even if I don't do it physically, but I imagine I open this box. What's the story inside? What do you find? You
Yeah.
know, actually, in Poor Things, there is that.
I am in a
universe.
trunk at
Yeah,
one
you
point.
are exactly.
Yeah.
You are. I could find you in the trunk.
In
You
the
see
trunk
what I
on a
mean?
ship,
That's enough
yeah.
to do 10 collections. 10 years.
I'm going to pop out to scare you sometime
Yes,
when you
please.
open the trunk. Metaphorical trunk.
Well, I think we have to stop.
Oh my God. We did it.
We did. It was beautiful. We could go
So
all
much
day.
fun.
That was great.
You have more questions?
I have millions, but I'll just text them.
Well, that was wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this. It's so special.